The Conservative MP Anna Firth is introducing a private member's bill aiming to make fatal dog-on-dog attacks a criminal offence.
The bill is called Emilie's Law, named after one of her constituents' dogs who was mauled to death by another dog in 2021.
Well, here to talk more about this Conservative MP herself, Anna Firth, and Anna, you know, what motivated you into this? And I mean, obviously, a very horrific situation, something which you see and you hear more and more about these attacks.
So that's absolutely right, Eamon. So a lovely chap in my constituency, Southend West, came to see me before I was even an MP. He was absolutely in pieces, inconsolable, because it turned out that his beautiful little white Bichon Frisbee dog mauled to death in Chalkwell Park, Rose Garden. You know, his little dog was on the lead. A big dog had come over. And literally just, you know, picked up his dog, shaking it like a rag doll, and he was left with passers-by to take the dog, you know, almost sort of torn in two, to a nearby vet where it was put down. And, you know, he obviously contacted the police, and the police said, well, there's nothing we can do, this is just dog on dog. And the owners of the dog wouldn't even take responsibility for the euthanasia bill. And turns out, when I started to look into this, because we all know about dogs mauling people and dog bites, that's actually also an increasing problem. But it turns out that dog-on-dog attacks are massively on the rise. There's only 14 police forces that I found that actually recorded this as a separate incident out of the 43 police forces. I think that's pretty shocking in itself. But in 2016, there were 1,700 dog-on-dog attacks recorded across those 14 forces. In 2021, there were 11,559. So a huge increase. And if you scale that up, because obviously dogs don't just attack other dogs where police happen to record it, we're probably looking at more like 35,000 dog-on-dog attacks. In fact, the pet insurers Direct Line have done a piece of research on this, and their figures are even higher, leaving households, you know, not just with the devastation of losing their lovely pet dog, but, you know, with these huge vet bills as well. So it turns out that although it is a criminal offence if your dog attacks and injures a guide dog or an assistance dog or a service dog, you may have heard of something called Finn's Law. Of course, it's obviously a criminal offence if a dog bites, injures, kills a human being, but pet dogs have been left out, just left out. And I think that's an obvious loophole in the law. Yeah. Michael certainly does. And we're introducing Emilie's Law in the House of Commons today.
And what would Emilie's Law enforce? Presumably the costs of any possible euthanasia, but I mean, would it carry a penalty or a prison sentence, or what sort of penalty are we talking about?
So actually setting a penalty is beyond the scope of a 10-minute rule bill, but you're absolutely right. Of course, it would carry a penalty. It's up to 3 years if your dog injures or kills a guide, service assistance dog. So I think it should scale down from there. I think that definitely should have a penalty of at least 6 months. And of course, then you can introduce victims' costs. Yeah. And you know, the like as well.
Okay, so, well, Anna, thank you for telling us about it. And we know, without going into any huge detail, people like the gentleman you had here, Emilie, would have been like a child to him, like a member of his family. And a lot of people view their pets like that, when that's a whole other debate.